Georgia's running game was insane. We didn't really talk about Georgia's running game as much. Georgia came into this game, I think, 60th, 61st, 66th, something like that, in rushing yards per game. They were at around like 170, 180 yards rushing. That's nothing for UGA. UGA in the past, especially in 2019, or 2018, they were a team that was running the ball for over 200 yards per game, around like 230, it seemed, I believe. And Georgia was just not running the ball as much. They were more of a balanced team in the past 4 weeks. Now, this week they came in and they just owned Arkansas on the line of scrimmage. This is the best game Georgia's offensive line played. And it allowed so many holes for Georgia's running backs. But you know who also played really well? The tight ends. Fitzpatrick in the blocking was amazing today. In fact, this was probably Fitzpatrick's best game for run blocking that I've seen in a while. Brock Bowers was doing a lot of work on the outside end and even inside when they pulled him in for a couple runs. Washington didn't really play as much. I didn't count how many times that he played. I'm guessing that he played maybe 10, 15 snaps. I don't know. I didn't really see him as much. But yeah. And a lot of Georgia fans were worried about the running game. Georgia's rush game in the first 3 games was pretty much non-existent, okay? They were around, 130 yards, 140, 135, something like that per game, which was in the 80s. And Georgia fans were upset with that because that's not typical Georgia football. But last week, especially later in the game against Vandy, I know it's Vandy, but still, Georgia was able to run the ball and then carry that over into this game, and they just completely dominated. It all starts on the line of scrimmage. And I didn't really think it was that much of a, of an issue for UGA because they were still rushing for 4.5, 5, 6 yards per carry. And they finished this game at around 5 yards per carry. If you're able to run the ball for 5 yards per carry, you're winning the game. That just is what it is, especially if you rush it for how many times? Georgia rushed it for almost 50 times in this game. This was not a balanced game for UGA. As you expected, it was very conservative with the play calling. Oh, Georgia rushed it 56 times. So there you go. They were at or around 5 yards per carry. These first down and second down rushes kill your defense, especially your front 7. And that's just what happens. They wore them down. So Georgia's rush game was not a problem, in my opinion, as much as people, said, because UGA just didn't run the ball as much as they used to in years past. I think UGA was actually averaging like 13.5 less rushes per game or something like that than in recent years. So, but this game they came in and run the ball. Nothing else to really say. Very conservative. They just dominated Arkansas on the line of scrimmage. And they really just dominated Arkansas on all aspects of the game. JT Daniels was out. Putting Stetson Bennett in, the only benefit to having Stetson Bennett is his mobility. His decision-making is not as good as JT Daniels. His arm talent is not as anywhere near as good as JT Daniels. And really, he's just nowhere near the level of QB as JT Daniels. So, there's really nothing much to say about that. But, yeah, Georgia completely dominated this game.